Hey and welcome back to the channel. I'm Amani Forrester, author of the book 30 Reasons Why Men Deserve Nothing. It's available right now on Amazon and it's free to read if you have Kindle Unlimited. We also have a Patreon now for videos and deep dives that might be a little too much for YouTube. Links are in the description. Also, I don't know what's going on with YouTube, but many of you are being unsubscribed without your knowledge or consent, so please make sure to check that you're still subscribed and hit the bell notification so you never miss a video. So, we've had videos in the past on this channel talking about the signs that a man hates you, and one of the most common ones is when they intentionally ruin important days for you, like your birthday or the holidays. This video is inspired by that red flag. It's a special Reddit Christmas edition featuring 3 stories of ex-wives ruining the holidays for their families. So settle in, grab your favorite snack or drink, and let's get into it. So the first story comes from the subreddit Am I the A-hole? It's called Kids Opened Their Presents Without Me. OP said, My husband is usually a great husband and father, but I am so effing pissed right now. I don't think I've ever been this mad. I woke up this morning around 8:30 when I heard the kids running around. I knew they would be eager to open their Christmas presents, so I got up immediately. I have a lot of trouble sleeping for various reasons, so my husband lets me sleep in every morning and watches the kids until I wake up naturally, or I have to get up to help get the kids ready for the day. He's alone with them for half an hour to an hour. He knows what time to wake me up if I oversleep. So I come into the living room and there is wrapping paper everywhere. All the presents are already unwrapped, and the kids, 5 and 7, are playing with them. I immediately started crying and walked back into the bedroom where my sadness also turned into anger, and I started screaming like crazy. I am so mad. I spent so much time thinking about what to get the kids, ordering it or driving around to find it in the stores, wrapping them and everything, and I feel like I was completely deprived of the joy of seeing their faces when they open their presents, which is one of the best parts of Christmas. My husband said he videotaped it. I screamed at him why he either couldn't make the kids wait or he could have just come and woken me up. He just said, I never wake you up in the morning. I said, It's effing Christmas morning. You didn't think I wanted to watch the kids unwrap the presents? And I called him an a-hole. He just said sorry. He didn't say I overreacted. I'm really hurt right now, and I don't even know how to get over it. I don't feel like doing anything Christmas today. I'm so disappointed in everybody. And I guess this was more of a rant to get this off my chest, but you can certainly tell me if I was the a-hole or not. Also, if you have any suggestions on how to mediate my hurt feelings, that would be really great. I hope you all have a Merry Christmas. Edit. People seem to think that I cried and screamed and cursed in front of my children. I did not. I intentionally went into the bedroom to have a good cry. I wasn't expecting to get so angry that I was screaming. My husband heard me and came into the room, so yes, I did scream at him, and I did call him an a-hole. I wish I had the same self control as so many in the comments that can control their strong emotions. In this situation, I feel like OP's husband was low key, teaching the children that it's okay to disrespect their mother. Like, it's okay to engage in family traditions and holidays without her. Despite all the work she puts in, she doesn't need to be included in the family. That's emotionally abusive. Teaching your children that it's okay to exclude their mother and not consider her feelings, it's so gross. I feel like he wanted their kids to undermine her, and he wanted to be seen as the fun parent. But in reality, she's the fun parent. OP went all over the place looking for these amazing gifts because she knew her kids would love them. He doesn't do that kind of labor. He doesn't care like she cares. But he wanted all the praise. He wanted to be considered this thoughtful, kind, and loving person by his children. His goal was to look like a good dad without actually doing any of the labor or investing any of the time or money. I feel like that's another reason the husband rushed to let the kids open the gifts, so they would thank him and associate the magic of Christmas, including those positive feelings about their gifts, with their dad. Did he even tell his kids the gifts were from their mom? I really doubt it. I bet he either slapped his name on the cards and acted like the gifts were from both of them, or he just let the kids thank him for all the gifts and took the credit. Either way, in the children's minds, what they're going to remember is sitting there with their dad and unwrapping gifts with him. And they're going to associate being cool, playful, and amazing with their dad, while remembering that for whatever reason, mom wasn't there. Mom was sleeping. Mom's there for the cleanup. Mom's there to cook the dinner. Mom's the boring parent. Maybe this is why so many kids grow up to say, yeah, my dad was fun and my mom was strict. But like, was that reality, or did your dad steal all these amazing moments that your mom created? And now all you can think of is your mom as the disciplinary, always yelling, upset, or stressed, while your dad is the cool and fun one who played with you. It's really sad, and I think that's exactly what he did here. Update: people on here are extreme. I should divorce my husband. My husband should divorce me. I'm being abusive. Everybody in my family needs therapy, etc. So here is the very anticlimactic update. My husband and I were cordial with each other throughout the day. I spent most of my time hanging out with the kids, admiring their toys, playing games with them. My husband helped them with Lego assembly. We had snacks, I made dinner. We drove around looking at Christmas lights. I talked to the kids about opening the presents, and my older one apologized for not waiting for me, but he was just so excited and had to open them right away. I told him it was okay, but maybe next time we do it differently. When the kids went to bed, I talked to my husband about what happened, and he apologized, saying that he just didn't think about it. He was busy with the project when the kids came downstairs around 8 a.m. He wasn't quite done yet, and they really wanted to open the presents. He wanted to make sure everything was safely put away, and he couldn't hold them off any longer, but really wanted to let me sleep. That's why he videotaped it so I could watch it later. I asked him how he would feel if the roles were reversed, and he said, "Yeah, that would suck. I know I messed up. Dad brain." Obviously, I forgave him. We have a strong marriage and can figure stuff out together. That doesn't mean that we don't have feelings or need to suppress them. I apologize for yelling and calling him an a-hole. He says he understands why I reacted the way I did. I asked him if the kids heard me yell, and he said no. They were busy with their toys, and you can't hear stuff from up there down here anyway. And we already have a plan for next year. Our kids always get one present from Santa, and the rest they know are from us or the rest of the family and friends. The gifts from Santa will be placed under the tree, and they can open them at their leisure. The rest of the gifts won't appear until everybody is present. Thank you to everybody who had reasonable input. And while there were some intense, strange, and even downright rude comments, I appreciate all the kind words I received. There are still people out there who try to make the world a better place. I'm surprised she received rude comments. Many are now deleted, but it seems like her post caught the attention of some emotional males who tried to gaslight her for being rightfully upset. I didn't like how her husband chalked it up to, quote, dad brain in the end. Like, that explains everything. That's just weaponized incompetence. Anyway, one person wrote, "Dad was inconsiderate. The kids could have been told they could open one, and then they have to help make breakfast and wake mom when it is ready. I bet mom is mostly angry because she is expected to do all the work, but she is not included in any of the fun." And another person said, "I'd be absolutely fuming if my wife did that." The buildup and excitement that explodes opening their gifts on Christmas morning is a priceless moment that doesn't last for many years. The stress and time and effort getting everything done never seems worth it until the moment you see the joy as they open everything. Your husband is an idiot. I agree. Share your thoughts below. This next story is called "Am I the A-hole for calling my soon-to-be ex-husband effing psycho for putting the news of our divorce in the kids' presence? My soon-to-be ex-husband and I have been married for a long time, but we're going to get divorced soon. We've had our fair share of fights here and there, which is normal for any couple, but he is the type of man who complains a lot, makes a ton of demands, and rarely does he acknowledge me or include me in big decisions. Things have been bad between us already, but it got worse when he got his diagnosis. He's suffering from a medical condition. While I sympathize with his condition, I knew this was going to be the end of our marriage. I knew I could not handle this version of him with his condition and all. So I was very honest with him and told him that I wanted divorce. He was open to it yet, resentful towards me, but he's been for a while now, so yeah. We agreed to tell the kids after Christmas and just be together as a family and enjoy the holidays. Well, he wanted to be petty and get back at me, but I didn't think he'd go to such lengths. In the morning, when our kids, they're 13 and 15 by the way, opened their Christmas presents, they were shocked to find out their dad and I are getting divorced. Their dad printed this on paper and put the papers in their gift boxes. It was horrible, especially the way he worded it: "Merry Christmas. Your mom is divorcing me." The house turned into a crying mess. He wasn't even there. He went to get coffee or whatever. He knew what was going to happen. Thus, he left the house in the morning. I didn't know what to do. I tried my best to get them to calm down, then called mom. He came and I absolutely blew up at him and called him effing psycho for doing this to the kids, on Christmas no less. He defended himself, saying I was no better for deciding to end our marriage right after his diagnosis. I told him it was more because of his awful character than anything else, but he has tainted my image to the kids as they now think I'm leaving him for his condition and refuse to speak to me. It got out and in laws got involved. He told everyone I called him a psycho and yelled at him for telling the kids the truth. They all came at me, especially his mother, who hated me all those years for no apparent reason. She called me a bitch and said that if my relationship with the kids is ruined, then it would be because of my own doing. And I have no one to blame but myself for being such an awful wife and mother. It escalated, he's moving out, and the kids are with mom. I'm feeling utterly devastated right now, but started to think that my outburst was unnecessary, and calling him psycho and causing a scene instead of de escalating the situation. Edit. His condition is physical, not mental. So it looks to me like she was dealing with your classic narcissist. It's clear that their divorce was a long time coming. He's very disrespectful. He never included her in major decisions, and they fought often. All red flags. And so when her husband got sick, the thought of having to take care of this abusive person was the final nail in the coffin for OP. She made it clear that it was his awful personality that was the deciding factor for getting divorced. And when she told him she wanted to get divorced after the holidays so as not to traumatize the kids, he acted like he agreed with her. You don't want your children to associate tragedy or heartbreak with major family holidays if you can help it. I get it. Yet he went behind her back and intentionally tried to create the most traumatic scenario for them. He didn't just sit them down and tell his kids they were getting divorced. He meticulously wrote them letters and put them in their gifts so that they would open them excitedly, only to be hit with probably the worst news of their lives. Their father is cruel to the point of being sadistic. That's what OP was married to for all these years. She stayed way too long, and he was trying to hurt those kids, which is disgusting. And the worst part is that he blamed their mom with the intention of turning their children against her, and he succeeded. He also turned other family members against OP. Very classic narc moves. I just feel like it's a really sad situation all around for the children and for this woman. Still, good on her for finally centering herself and realizing she doesn't want to take care of such a crappy person. I'm glad she got out of that relationship, and I hope her children snap out of their father's programming and realize how awful he is when they get a little older. I hope she's able to give them the proper story. Here are some comments. One person said, not the a-hole, and please, please keep the letters that the father wrote for the children and any video you tried to take of them opening their gifts as evidence you will need during the divorce proceedings, as evidence of his unhinged behavior. Also keep copies and recordings of his family harassing you as well. Another agreed, saying, use it against him in court. He's poisoning your children against you, and you could use that against him in court. And someone else said, your husband has caused lasting trauma to your children. They will never, never forget this. My mother pulled a similar stunt when we were kids, maybe 9 and 7, came out Christmas morning while we were opening presents and told us they were getting a divorce and that it was our fault because we were bad children. I'm 57. Every single Christmas I think about this. Your husband is flat out evil. This story comes from the marriage subreddit. It's called Husband, 45 male, screaming and threatening to divorce me, 37 female on Christmas Eve over friends' mailed cookies. Basically, today went from perfectly fine to my husband throwing a screaming, swearing fit and saying he wants a divorce in 15 minutes. Over some cookies his friend mailed to us. His close friend makes hundreds of cookies to send to their friends every Christmas. For the last 2 years, I have not been able to eat flour for medical reasons, so the cookies are not for me. The friend knows this about me. This is the second year that this has happened. I mentioned to my husband that I wish that they had sent something that I could have too, and he lost his mind. After he started screaming and swearing, I compared it to his brother's family sending us wine 2 years in a row when they know I don't like wine and never drink it, and my husband likes wine. That's not a gift for both of us, it's a gift for my husband, which is fine, but it's not very thoughtful if you say it's for both of us. Of course, I'm not saying this to anyone else or seeming ungrateful towards them. I'd never do that. But my husband often gets rabidly defensive of other people instead of siding with me, his wife, even just when I make a comment to him at home, which I rarely even do, only when the behavior repeats. I said that he was overreacting and to stop screaming at me, and he started yelling that someone has to tell me how rude I am and someone has to tell me how I'm a terrible person. Then he started on that he doesn't want to celebrate Christmas with me and that he wants a divorce and is going to file for divorce, and then tried to kick me out of the house. To which I said, I'm not leaving because this is also my house. This is not the first Christmas that he has done something similar, but I thought he was over it because it's been a few years since he has thrown a gigantic fit on Christmas or Christmas Eve. My family's across the country, and I've only spent one Christmas at home in the last 12 years, which was last year. I didn't go home this year, so I have no one else to spend Christmas with but him. At this point, I don't want to finish wrapping any of the presents I got for him, but I want to throw them in the garbage. I want to burn the custom sweatshirt with his favorite dog's face, and I want him to give me the presents my parents bought for me that he is wrapping, and for him to just leave me alone. We were in couples therapy for a couple sessions recently, but he decided he didn't like the therapist and that she was unqualified and he quit. He's supposed to find us a new therapist that he approves of, but he hasn't yet. Edited to add, this is not the first time he's said he wants a divorce. It's what he says when he gets mad. But he's been saying it with more intent lately, which is why we'd started the therapy. He'll say that I am the best ever and he loves me and will never leave. Then, 5 minutes later, he's screaming over something and saying he wants a divorce. Extremely hot and cold. Okay, so I'd say this man checked out of the relationship a long time ago. He's emotionally abusive as well. Nobody gets mad at their partner and calls them a terrible person for being unable to eat flour due to a medical issue or for being sad that they can't have cookies gifted to them as a couple. And nobody would want to get divorced over that alone either. There's more going on here. He seems to enjoy causing fights just so he can say, let's get divorced. He's manipulative and cowardly. These kinds of guys always are. Also, the fact that he never takes her side or stands up for her shows he sees his wife as his op, not his partner. He also claimed he didn't like their couples therapist for whatever reason, yet never made any effort to find another one to work with. That tells me he never wanted to work on this relationship. Pay attention to people like this, people who make excuses for why they won't improve themselves or work with you to fix your relationship. A relationship shouldn't be one sided. It shouldn't be one person trying to fix things while the other can't be bothered or constantly threatens divorce. If your partner brings up divorce as a threat, that's a power move. Like they're trying to control you. If they say it, let them go through with it. Don't let someone hold that over your head. Honestly, I hope OP just leaves. I wouldn't put up with someone so unkind and emotionally abusive. It would have cost him nothing to contact his friends and ask for gifts that both he and his wife can enjoy, but he doesn't care enough about her to speak up for her. Not every relationship is worth saving. Break up. Just break up. He just used the cookies as a scapegoat, but it's not about the cookies. He's just a miserable person who hates being married but is too comfortable or scared to actually leave. He might even be cheating. Who knows? But yeah, just another trash bag booga ruining Christmas because that's what they enjoy to do. Let's get into the comments. One person said, I would quietly look into a divorce attorney and personal therapist after the holiday. It doesn't sound like he really wants to change, and it's going to get exhausting, constantly being threatened with divorce. At some point, when you're with someone who threatens divorce so often, you just stop feeling anything when they threaten you, and that's when you move on. And I really love this commentator's advice. They said, people are bickering over the cookies. It's not even about the cookies. The entire point here is that OP made a simple comment, and her husband basically lost his mind on her. The point is, he has a nasty habit of doing this. OP, I hope you realize that this is absolutely unhinged and unforgivable behavior. A man would only be able to do this to me exactly once, and I would make his Christmas wishes come true. Donate his gifts and find a lawyer on Boxing Day that you can file divorce with. Wrap the divorce papers and tell your a-hole husband that his Christmas gift was a few years in the making, but this will be your last Christmas gift to him, and he should love it. Then, from now on, you can celebrate Christmas with people who actually love you, and he can choke on his effing cookies by himself. Very well put. Anyway, I would love to hear your thoughts on this story or any of the others. So leave a comment, like this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.